This is the Leaf Riders of Wrenwood. My name's Landon, you're watching RPG ABC, and we're playing this quest calendar every week and having a ton of fun doing it. So why don't we go ahead and jump into week 11 with Monday, March 11th, 2024. The Needy Stick. The hour grows late, so you decide to relax in a tavern for a meal, a drink, and hopefully some good company. Some friendly folks gossip at the counter while tough-looking critters are gathered at a table playing recruits. So, number one, we need to play a game of recruits. If you want to wager some amber in a game, you may bet 1 or 2 per round and play up to 5 rounds. For each round, do the following in order. Place your bet by paying 1 or 2 amber. Then you roll a d12 and note the result. Guess if your next roll will be higher or lower than the result from step 2. Roll again. If your guess is correct, you gain double what you bet. We have 10 amber. We can bet 2 every time. So... no, nothing. Okay, so we can do that up to 5 times. So why don't we? And we'll bet 2 each time, right? So we'll bet 2. So that brings us down to 8 amber. We'll roll a d12. That's a 5. So statistically, I'd probably roll higher than a 5 on my second roll, right? So let's see. We rolled 9. So we double our money. So we're actually at 12. I'm keeping track with a d6 off screen. Then we'd play another round. So -2. So we go down to 10. We roll a 9. So statistically, we're likely to roll less. So let's roll it. We rolled a 7. So that means we get 4. So we're at 14. And we have 3 more rounds to do this. So let's do it again, right? So we go down to 12. We roll a d12. 3. So statistically, we're likely to get higher. 8. We did. So we double our money. So we are at 16. All right. We'll subtract 2. That becomes 14. We'll roll a d12. 6. Ooh, that's like almost right in the middle. But I believe statistically we are more likely to roll higher rather than lower. We have 6 options to roll higher. Roll higher or lower than the result. What if it's the same? What if you roll the same? Ties are always loss. Okay. So yeah, we have 6 that we can roll higher, 6 we can roll lower. So equal or lower. So we'll say higher. This was a 7. Ooh, barely. Barely. But we did double our money. So we're 18. Beautiful. All right, this is our last round, I believe. So subtract that. I go down to 16. We'll roll our d12. We get 2. Statistically, we're likely to roll higher. And we get 10. So yeah, we are all the way up to 20 amber. We went from 10 to 20. We won every single round. We cleaned their clock. Heck yeah. And I just marked my fingertip. Perfect. Okay. Once you're done playing, if you win 2 or more rounds, a rabbit at the table gets angry and flips the table onto its side. He stands up to you and jams a finger into your chest, accusing you of cheating. We can either threaten them or convince them. I mean, either one we're not really good at. Do we have a skill that might be able to help us here? Like a pet or something that might be able to help us? We could try to use a firefly ability. We get a greater than or less than 4 of clubs. This is the first time using one of their abilities, but we're going to do that to try to intimidate them so that then we have a +1, right, to this check. So we take out the deck, we shuffle it up. The texture on these cards is very interesting. Trying not to mix up cards directions, even though I know it doesn't matter with playing cards. They're made to work both directions, but like, it's a thing in my head. Maybe it's in your head too, I don't know. How many times has this been? Because to shuffle a playing card deck correctly, like enough, it's like 7 times, I believe. 52 cards, all that stuff. Alright. Then, just for my own sanity, I'm going to do this. Alright, and bam. That's spades, and that is... It's spades, it's not clubs, so we did not get... We have to get clubs and a higher number. So, the skill did not pan out, sadly. As far as my understanding of that, the Firefly does take 1 point of damage too. Too bad. It's only got 2 health, you know, so I don't want to use it again until it gets a rest. I marked it there, so it's hurt. I believe it takes a damage if we don't use the spell, the ability. Let's see, the rules are right up here. So party members. If you draw a face card, reduce their health by 1. Face cards also act as 10+ triggers. Jokers are both suits. Can only be used once per page. No, I guess it doesn't take. To use a party member, you will need a deck of playing cards. The rules activate a party's member's ability are explained in further detail on the pages where you can hire them. In summary, you will be drawing a random card from the deck. The ability is activated if the card matches the required suit. So it didn't take a point of damage, actually. I was wrong about that. Sorry. But the ability did not activate. So we don't get that +1 to strength. Too bad, so sad. Moving on. So yeah, then let's go ahead and see what happens. Do you threaten the player? Sure, we'll threaten the player. No, we're nice. We're nice people. I was only gonna threaten because I got the +1, but I didn't get the +1. So yeah, we'll just charisma roll it. If your virtue is less than... Nope, it's more than 0. We get +2 to the roll. Nice. So we get +2. 10 + 2 is 12. That +1 would have made the difference, because if the result is... Wait, do we have a way to increase our charisma by 1? Let's jump to our inventory. Glamour stone. That will increase it by a d4. A d4 doesn't really matter. Any result, 2, gives us enough to get the better result. If the result is 13 or more, the rabbit backs down and leaves you alone. There we go. I didn't have to use a firefly. So, you know. Oh man. The day this goes out, Firefly news might be happening. I know I'm not really like a Firefly channel, but like, holy cow. I can't wait to find out what has been announced. If anyone's watching this and knows what the announcement is, comment it down below so I see it. And I will very much appreciate you because I'm super excited about that. But anyways, back to the game. Fitting that I used the Firefly ability, or tried to, on this day. It's an auspicious day. Anyways, back to the game, everyone. Stop distracting me with your Firefly stuff. Okay, 2. Share in the gossip. Hey, ain't I seen you going into the castle earlier today? Mayhap you can tell us what's going on? We're all noticed the trees around the castle looking wrong and wondering if something has happened to the Tree of Seasons. If we are all worried and feel the critters deserve to know what's happening. Do you divulge any information? No. They told me not to tell people. If no, you decline to comment and keep to yourself. The critters take this as a sign of troubling news and continue to gossip amongst themselves. Of course they would. All right. Let's continue on to the next day, which was Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. It's dark when you leave the Needy Stick Tavern. The night is calm as you take a quiet stroll around the residential district. Most celebrations and activities have ended, but there are still a few things to see. Explore the city at night. Right, but like at night. Locked down. You find a tortoise trying to get inside their home after a long day of work. They've broken their key and can't seem to get past the door lock. Choose to either A, help the tortoise by fixing the key with magic, B, help the tortoise by picking the lock, C, help the tortoise by breaking down the door. It says B again, but I think it means D. Rob them. Well, I'm not choosing that. Dang. So A, help the tortoise by fixing the key with magic by using a spell slot, or Surge if available. I believe surges recover every page, where spell slots recover every rest. I am going to use that spell slot to do that, but like that's quite the ass compared to a surge, you know, in my opinion. Ooh, what if it's a Firefly role-playing game? Anyway, you magically restore the key in its mesmerizing display. The tortoise is very pleased and hands you 3 amber. We're at 23 amber. 23. A lonely bug. An old and lonely caterpillar crosses your path. It struggles to move and tries to get your attention. So we need to roll a wisdom. Reminder, bug tamer. So our wisdom is -1, and bug tamer we get +2, so it's a +1 total. That's 17 +1, 18. If the result is 10 or more, the bug is hungry and anxious. It beckons you over to an alley behind a tree, suspecting a family or other hungry caterpillars awaits. You follow it. However, it is a trap, as a shadowy figure emerges from the alley with daggers drawn. It rushes towards you, slicing wildly with its daggers. So we have to roll attack, which is +4. What do we get? 19. No. 19. Heck yes. 19 +4, 23. That's a hit. Then we roll our damage, which is a d12. That is 9 damage. Yeah, that's enough to stun him. So we don't take any damage. If you defeat the attacker, take 3 amber from the body. Jeez. We're at 26, y'all. 26. The bug disappears gratefully. Oh, okay. The bug appears grateful. Sorry. The bug appears to be grateful. Okay, so the hungry caterpillar that beckoned you behind was being used by this shadowy figure, and you killed the shadowy figure, and the caterpillar seems grateful. That's what it said. Awesome. I'm on here. I just read like 100 cards, TCG cards. My brain is shot, so sorry. Try to find my other channel. Let's go on, move on to the next day, which is Wednesday, March 13th, and looks like winter came early. The morning rolls around with a brisk chill in the air as a few snowflakes flutter about in the wind. It is not time of year for this weather. You wonder if the dying tree of seasons is the cause of this. The snow picks up quickly as you head to the castle, and you soon find yourself in a dangerous blizzard. Man, we didn't get a rest that night. Dang. All right, so number 1, we need to help a mother and child, and that's going to require a wisdom roll. The streets quickly turn white with sticking snow as drifts pile up in the mounds among shop steps and tree roots. A mother urges her child to leave for home quickly. They were playing in the snow only a minute ago, but now struggled to keep footing as they head to safety. They are shivering and visibly distressed from the biting cold. Quickly find a way to keep them warm and guide them to safety. All right, this is wisdom, which we're -1 at. But we can reroll. No, that's intellect. Dang it. 16, so 15 total. If the result is 11 or more, you quickly find a safe and warm place in a merchant's shop. The mother thanks you and gives you 1 amber. We're at 27. Jeez, so much. So much. Number 2, help a store owner. The gracious shop owner allowed several people to take shelter inside. However, he struggles to close the shop amidst the blizzard. The fierce winds make it difficult to secure the doors and protect the merchandise. You have to make you have a choice to make. A, prioritize your own safety and seek shelter, or B, lend a hand and help them secure the shop quickly. We're going to lend a hand. Now, it does say strength, and we're terrible at that. We could try to use the Firefly to give us a +1. So the thing about these bug abilities is that every time you're supposed to have a shuffled deck, as far as I understand. So we're just going to shuffle this a few times. Since you don't really see most of the cards in the deck, you only see 1. Yeah. And it was a clubs and greater than 4. Or equal to. Greater or equal to 4. All right. Dang it. Oh, it's clubs, but it's lower. Dang. So that didn't work. We didn't get the +1 there. So we will just keep going forward. I think the card thing, activating abilities, is interesting, but I don't know if it really adds anything to the game. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the game designer talking in me, so sorry about that. But, so we failed that, but let's go ahead and roll that strength check. That is 9. Oof. That is too low. We don't have anything to help with strength, right? No, we don't. So, if the result is 10 or less, after much struggle, you and the owner finally get the shop secured. Although somewhat relieved, the shop owner is disappointed as some of the merchandise is ruined. That's too bad. I would offer to buy some, but it doesn't give me that chance. So now I just have to get to safety, and this is going to take an intellect roll. You must head to the castle and report to the council. Getting there will require you to navigate through the blizzard's harsh conditions, and you must decide on the best route to reach the castle safely. The wind and snow obscure visibility, and you face the risk of getting lost or injured. Intellect roll. Our other bug, does that help us with intellect rolls? Now our intellect is +3, so I mean it's pretty good. But yes it does. It's hearts greater than or equal to 4. So let's do that. Because why not? The rule said that they recover daily and they don't take damage unless you draw a face card. So let's get this as shuffled up as possible. Nope, not hearts. So, failed that. It feels like we have ample opportunity to fail. Which is probably why we don't take damage for failing and stuff. But just feels like we'll never get the abilities to trigger, you know? But maybe that's just me. Because if you think about, like, there's 13 cards per suit, 14 if you had the Joker, so then there's 4 and higher, so that's -3, so that's only 11 cards in a 50, I guess, 4 card deck because of the 2 Jokers that you leave in. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so we just roll straight intellect, which is +3. We can re-roll once per page. So this, we might re-roll it. 10 + 3 is 13. I get the middle result. Is that worth it? Or do I try to go for the better result? Risk it for the biscuit? Risk it for the biscuit. Let's go. Ouch. And take the new result. Okay, so that's 5. So we get the worst result. The blizzard's biting snow disorients you. Blinding snow disorients you, and you struggle to find place to take refuge. Your heart races as the cold starts to numb your fingers and toes, reduce your health by 2. Oof, we're down to 9 hit points. 9. We must be coming up on a rest here soon, right? Well, anyway, that's the end of the day, except I see a pit pocket, so let's go ahead. See, maybe we can find some amber on the ground here, maybe 2. We find 2 amber on the ground amongst the snow. So, you know, we lost 2 health, but we gained 2 amber. Not a good trade-off, but it's a trade-off. All right, let's move on to Thursday, March 14th, 2024. Finding shelter from the storm in the sewers, you can navigate your way closer to the castle. Hopefully you can do so with some amount of safety. So, as usual, we start at the X, and we're trying to get to the other side, I imagine, which is 4. So let's go ahead, check out 1 super quick. We'll go down this way and check out 1. Area 1. A narrow passage is blocked by a pile of debris and waste. You must spend time trying to remove the obstruction. This is going to be a strength check. Reminder, athlete, which we are not. We can go ahead and try to use the bug, so let's use the bug. If I'm doing this incorrectly, let me know in the comments. I feel like I'm doing what it says, but I could be wrong. You know, part of the fun of playing a game is learning how to play it correctly. You aren't going to go into every game knowing exactly how to play it perfectly. So if you ever go to a trading card game thing, never riffle shuffle. Just heads up, never. People will not like you. That's how I used to shuffle my Magic cards back in high school, though. So, up. One card. Somewhere in there. Let's look at the top. Boom. Not a club. It's a spade. Dang. Close, but no cigar. Since it was a face card, does it take the damage though? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's check the rules reference real quick. If you draw a face card of any suit, their health is reduce their health by 1. So yeah, yikes. I won't be able to use that Firefly again until I get a rest. Because it's only got 2 health, so. Alright, let's roll that strength. That is a 17. A 17 plus 0. Easy peasy. If the result is 11 or more, with determination, you carefully and methodically remove the debris piece by piece. Your efforts pay off as you successfully clear the path and discover a hidden compartment behind the obstruction, revealing a stash of valuable trinkets left behind from previous adventures. Gain 2 amber. We're at 31 amber. That's crazy. Okay. And it clears the way to Area 3. Area 3 amidst the filth and waste. You spot a small mound of debris that looks different from the rest. Curiosity compels you to investigate. Intellect, reminder, investigator. We are investigators, so we get +2. That's +5 total. Let's go. 16, that's 21 total. If the result is 11 or more, cautiously inspecting the debris pile, you notice signs of hidden compartment beneath the rubble. With precision, you uncover the concealed entrance and retrieve a small cache of valuables. Gain 2 amber. We're at 33 amber, y'all. Heck yeah. So we could just go to 4, but I think that's the end. What if we check out Area 2, just in case there's something there? Area 2. As you proceed deeper into the sewer, you encounter a section flooded with murky water. The water level is rising, and the swift current threatens your safety. This is going to take dexterity, which we have a +2 in. That's a 4. +2 for a 6. That's not good. If the result is 10 or less, you underestimate the strength of the currents. The rushing water overwhelms you, knocking you off balance, pulling you under. You struggle to stay afloat. Roll Constitution, which is -1. We rolled a 1. So that is a 0 total. If the result is 10 or less, you struggle to surface in the wild currents. Reduce your health by 1. We're at 8 hit points. Alright, and then we make it to Area 4. You found the exit. You may stop now or continue to explore and return when finished. You emerge from the sewer and finish the journey to the castle safely. You find guards scrambling about. The place is in chaos as they take in helpless citizens from the streets. Alright, on to the next day. Friday, March 15th, 2024. You stand before Queen Idnid Sagebloom and her immediate council. She is calm and regal, looking toward you with pride. Captain Flint Clawthorne of the Royal Guard stands stoically at attention. Master Laurel Driffer seems a bit anxious about the task ahead. They waste no time with the ceremony, and instead they get straight to the discussion. There are many subjects to talk through. All right. Status of the tree of seasons. Through your invaluable aid, we have achieved a measure of success in containing the waning spirit of the tree of seasons. At last, it proves to be but a temporary respite, for the undeniable truth cannot remain concealed for much longer. The tree's decline spreads like tendrils, and its fading will soon draw the notice of the people. Regrettably, the realm is bound to endure further uh, uh, capricious and perilous weather akin to today's devastating storm, which pretends dire consequences for the lives of our beloved denizens in Wrenwood. The enemy. We have long overlooked the insects of the ashlands to the west, and now we delve into the matter of the insect called uh, Rathix, whom you encountered in the tunnels below. Our scouts have been dispatched to ascertain the legitimacy of his claim to the insect throne, yet we await further confirmation on the support he may garner among the insect families and houses. His intentions remain unclear, leaving us a vulnerable position. Until we possess more knowledge, caution must guide our ventures beyond the protective walls of the city. Restoring the tree. Our priority resides in salvation of the tree, yet the magnitude of such a task surpasses our own magical capabilities. It was the forest guardians who in ancient days bestowed life upon the the tree of seasons. We will uncover their power to restore it. To recover their whereabouts and beseech their aid, we must regain a knowledge long lost to us. There exists a soul critter who may possess the information we seek. Eldris, the venerable owl, who has lived far longer than is natural. Legends say that he was around when the Tree of Seasons was planted at Crownspire. Yet it is Sorry, I lost my place. Yeah. Yet it is dangerous to seek him out, for he dwells within the treacherous confines of the lost woods, where critters vanish without a trace, and danger lurks at every turn. Nonetheless, this quest falls to you. Venture into the lost woods, seek out Eldris, and unveil the path to the guardians, that the Tree of Seasons may once more flourish. Funding and rumors. We have set aside funds to assist you in fulfilling this impressive mission. Imperative mission. Utilize them judiciously to assemble a capable crew, procure necessary provisions, and attend to any needs during your voyage. This endeavor demands utmost secrecy, while the truth shall inevitably surface. It is paramount to shield the critters from it for now. Unfounded rumors and apprehension must not plague our people, for their safety is our foremost concern. Add 20 amber to your inventory. Heck yeah. That is 53 amber. Holy cow. If you have spreading rumors written down, I don't. And if you have furthering rumors written down, and I don't. So that's it for today. We got a lot of information. But why don't we go ahead jump into the next day already. To finish up the week here, we are on Saturday, March 16th / Sunday, March 17th, 2024. The council meeting continues as the Queen thanks each of the heroes in the room. The Queen speaks to you. The realm extends its gratitude for your loyal service to the royal family and its subjects. Your valor and dedication have earned you a distinguished position as we prepare for the forthcoming challenges. By embarking on this noble quest, you have merited the right to make any request of your queen upon your triumphant return. Yet until that moment, the crown and its people summon your presence once more, for your valorous deeds are required yet again. The queen addresses the other characters. Read the sections for the other heroes that you did not choose to play as in the adventure. Oh boy. Still a lot more reading. Holy cow. Okay. So for Tack, Redwind, the squirrel wind chaser. Your swift arrival to warn us of the imminent insect attack proved to be an indispensable act, preserving lives within the castle and the city beyond. Without you, we would not have had the forewarning needed to mount a prompt response. Regrettably, duty calls you back to the burrow to conclude your training. Your esteemed superiors eagerly await your return, and be assured a gratifying recompense awaits you upon your return. We are playing as Thatch, so we skip that for Quill Mudsong, the Porcupine Spellkeeper. Your visit has bestowed a welcomed radiance upon the city. Time has distanced us since our youth, but I have been blessed by your presence. Regrettably, I understand the weight of responsibilities that tether you to the entirety of Wrenwood, leaving you with no choice but to depart. Please do grace us with your presence again, as your journey forth may care guide your path, my dear friend. For Cora Windclaw, the Mouseblade's dancer. My cherished daughter, though your defiance has at times vexed me, I am impressed with your conduct amidst recent endeavors. You exemplified bravery and swordsmanship reminiscent of your own youth. While the throne may not be your aspiration, Wrenwood would undoubtedly prosper under your benevolent rule. You must remain here to pursue knowledge and hone your skills. This crisis shall unveil the profound essence of guiding and leading the critters of the forest. Merrick Lightfoot, the Weasel Shadow Weaver. I'm sure you never imagined getting yourself entangled in events of these past days. I understand that your intentions were never to harm the Tree of Seasons. As promised, we forgive you for your transgressions. You are henceforth exonerated and free to leave. However, permit me to earnestly implore you to ponder the trajectory of your life's course. Man, jeez. Syl Blackbolt, the Skunk Lightseeker. We are profoundly impressed at the execution of your station. Your leadership and combat prowess have left an impressionable mark. It is conceivable that you shall one day ascend to your prestigious post of Captain of the Royal Guard. At last your presence is currently required to resume your duties. Captain Clawthorne awaits your prompt return, for there is a multitude of tasks demanding your capable hand within these castle walls. Ugh, that was so much reading. Ugh. Okay, we are done for the week. Week 11 done. Join me next week while we continue this adventure through the Leaf Riders of Wrenwood, the 2024 quest calendar. Having a ton of fun with this. It's so different, this story, compared to our daily quest calendar, The Souls of Saraku. If you haven't been watching that, I highly recommend you watch that too. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I hope y'all understand that. And you know what? I'll see you tomorrow.